Hello there. The breaking news is that according to prosecutors in court, two men plotted to massacre Jews in the northwest. And I'll just show you what the Telegraph said. Islamist terror suspects plotted mass shooting of Jews. Pair planned to use assault rifles in attack likened to 2015 Paris atrocity, court told. So there you have it. According to the prosecution, those alleged perpetrators were prepared to become martyrs by causing untold harm through mass fatalities. The two men, Walid Saudawi, 38, and Amar Hussein, 52, are both of no fixed abode, according to the report. And minutes into the trial, one of them shouted, "We protect ourselves," before being ordered out of court. How long before our weak borders leads to a very successful mass termination event? We're on borrowed time for that, aren't we, Richard?
Yes, we really are in deep trouble, as the headline says of this, this video. Yeah, I mean, we're hearing about, assault rifles and all that kind of thing, and lots of ammunition according to the Daily Telegraph, and I mean, the whole thing appears to be sort of designed. At the end of the day, this could all be not true, of course, and these could be lovely, decent gentlemen. We have no idea they're completely innocent, or they could be trying to kill as many Jews as possible. I mean, this sort of thing, when you just hear about just these court cases taking place, it makes your blood run cold, to be honest with you, Jeff. I mean, this isn't, Syria. This is England we're talking about here. And it appears as if England is not the place that it used to be, and I can't think for what reason. But anyway, these gentlemen, that they are innocent until proven guilty, and that's that, and we can't be, especially when it comes to the ideology that potentially inspired them, we can't, we have to be very careful about that, because, we shouldn't generalize. We shouldn't generalize, Jeff, whatsoever. And we need to be sensitive, because, I mean, mentioning the sort of like the ideology behind it might offend somebody. Yeah, because it would be sort of picking on them, possibly, by mentioning what potentially could have happened. I mean, the prosecutors are saying that this, I believe that this thing, the Telegraph is saying it could have ended up like, as you said, like something that took place in Paris in 2015. If that starts happening on British soil, Jeff, I think we're in deep trouble. Well, actually, we are in deep trouble, Jeff. Over to you.
Yeah. Well, we are in deep trouble if we're having court cases like this, aren't we, really? I mean, it's not as if this is... 20, 30 years ago, we wouldn't have heard that much about this sort of thing. It's just becoming almost monotonous in regularity with what's going on out there. I mean, this country just gets more insane by the day, doesn't it, really? Everybody, especially those in power, seem to have gone stark staring mad, don't they? And I've got to say, Richard, we seem to be the only two sane people left. And I sometimes worry about you as well.
Okay.
Now we have... And right now we have people parading themselves around the country, heaping hate on Jews. And the authorities just stand idly by, thumb up whatever, mind in neutral, and watch. All because of a string of weak prime ministers and supine state officials who would rather our children were hurt than they be forced to make some tough decisions. I mean, remember that yesterday was the second anniversary of the 7th of October horrors in Israel. And there were basically celebrations of the event all over social media and in this country.
Jeff,
both horrendous and heartless.
Yes, Jeff. I mean, one of the victims of one of the people involved in this, one of the unfortunate. He survived. Let's just say that he survived that awful thing that took place in Manchester, that attack. But he's saying that he doesn't feel safe in Britain now, and that he wants to leave Britain. One of the chaps. I mean, there we go. That's the way Jews are thinking right now in Great Britain. They don't feel safe at all here. And how long is it until, I don't know, Christians maybe don't feel safe here? It just appears as if there's only one, and all the other different religions, there just seems to be one religion, I can't remember the name of it, that we have to worry about everyone feeling safe if they follow that religion. It's just skip my memory, Jeff. It's gone. Yeah.
And you daren't leave that religion either.
Oh, no. That could be very dangerous if you did that. Yeah.
Yes. And Diana Luzzatto says it will happen and the government will find excuses. Yes, it'll be the fault of the far right because they didn't embrace everything to do with what some people want to do to our children and to non-believers and all that sort of thing. That'll be the excuse used, as usual. And I will remind everybody, all these celebrations started on October the 7th, 2023. And I'll just show you what Visegrad said about this. Visegrad 24 on X said, October the 7th, 2023, civilians celebrate in Gaza City after hearing the news of October the 7th massacre taking place a few kilometres away. And what they were talking about was this.
Surely they couldn't have been celebrating that.
That was directly after it.
No, I don't believe that, Jeff. That couldn't have happened because that would mean something that I can't actually say on here. That would mean, that would mean something terrible. Something really bad, that would mean. And I can't say it. I can't articulate it. Go on, Jeff. Sorry, after you then.
Yeah. For me, there's not much doubt there that Hamas and its supporters revelled in that slaughter, that they'd meted out to the Israelis. And now we have it confirmed. Yeah. And now we have it confirmed in some new news that the alleged synagogue attacker, Jihad whatever, had 3 wives and called 999 right after he crashed his car into the wall and told the emergency services that the attack was in the name of the Islamic State. Now tell me that wasn't a terror-related incident.
Probably not, Jeff. Reckon? No, it's, of course, when you're talking about Islamic State, of course, we are talking about the band. Yeah, the band. Yeah, there's a band. Yeah, it's and they're peaceful. Yeah, it couldn't possibly be that we have allowed into this country monsters. That couldn't be the case, Jeff. No, not for 1 second. Sorry.
No, our prime ministers, home secretaries over many, many years, if not decades, would never have engaged in that. They would have made sure our borders were tight as a drum, wouldn't they? They would have made sure that every single person that came into this country was properly vetted and the few that got through were thrown out immediately, wouldn't they?
Absolutely.
But, yes, so why are we where we are today?
Yes. That's because it's all down to perception, Jeff. It's all down to perception. It's because I think right? What it is yes, it's all down to the fact that everyone's just racist and something phobic. Yeah. And that something phobic is totally irrational, and don't to worry, because that something phobic will be illegal very soon, thanks to our Labour government, who we all support and love. Yes, no, Jeff, what's happened in this country, what we have allowed in here, are very nice, decent people, and nothing untoward is happening whatsoever. Look away. Britain's fine. Yeah. It's all just the far right and extremists. Yeah. Sorry, yes. Jeff, I'm getting sick and tired of it all, to be honest with you.
So am I.
It's just hideous. It's just hideous.
And look what Timothy M said I put it up on screen. And don't ever forget, our rulers and their mainstream media propaganda outlets are 100% complicit in this. Yes, they are. Because as far as they're concerned, those court cases are just some sort of, what do you call it, coincidental thing, because we must drive towards diversity. And if we have a bit of collateral damage over the years as we drive towards diversity, so what? They don't care.
Yeah.
That's all part and parcel of living in the modern UK as far as they're concerned.
And we mustn't forget our celebrities and our elites as well. Yes. Our celebrities and elites as well. Yeah. So I'll add that on top to Timothy, because our celebrities and the elites, they love, I mean, they've all taken, all of them, fair play, they've all sort of taken their fair share of these people into their homes, haven't they? They've all welcomed them in, have the spare room or have the spare wing, as many of them have got. Yeah. I mean, His Majesty said
North and South.
Yeah, His Majesty said we need to be more welcoming to them. And, he's himself opened his Buckingham Palace and Balmoral up to, and Windsor. It's all open. It's just filled with people who've, fleeing the war in France, the terrible war that they're trying to escape in France. Yeah, that's
must be awful refugees over there.
Oh, awful, dreadful, dreadful.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you, Nakama Gluck, for your contribution. The gaslighting knows no bounds. Shameless. Yeah, that's basically, isn't it? We've got nudge units. They've got this brigade over here, and they're all trying to push us in the same direction. Just do as you're told. Shut your free speech down. Shut your ability to do anything. Give you an ID card that they can stop you doing certain things if you don't kowtow down to the multiculturalism agenda. That's what it's all about, and we don't need it anymore.
Jeff,
got to fight.
Hang on a second. There's a comment here by MG Betts. Israel wouldn't hurt a fly, would they, Jeff? We're not talking about Israel. We're talking about Jewish people in Britain. And there's a lot to be said about the conflict in Israel. We're not talking about that right now. We're talking about Jews. So hang on a second. You think it's justifiable that this massacre, a potential massacre could take place? Not that these gentlemen we're talking about here are guilty of that in any way, shape or form. This is a trial which is going on. However, because we don't know whether they're guilty or not. However, sorry, do you think it's okay then do you think it would okay if hypothetically a massacre took place? I see. Okay, that's your values. Fine. Well, that's up to you.
I'm former military, so I'll just put it plainly. If you look back at the Second World War and look at the destruction we had to mete out onto Japan and onto just Berlin itself, we had to virtually flatten it just to get rid of the Nazis and the whatever you want to call them, in the the supremacists or whatever in Japan at the time, and we had to totally and utter, we had to stop them dead. That is what Israel has got to do to Hamas. I'm sorry, but if Hamas keeps hiding behind children, these things are going to happen. And by the way, the figures that are coming out show that at least a third, if not a half, of the dead in Gaza are the terrorists. But they never tell you that. But anyway, going on. Thank you, Wisdom Nuggets and Tidbits. Always praying for the indigenous UK citizens and Jews in the UK. Bless you, gents. Thank you very much. We need sort of absolutely all the prayers we can get.
Jeff, going back to what you were just saying earlier there, though, I remember reading about what happened in Dresden, and it was awful. It was horrific. War is absolutely horrific. And that's why we some of us push for peace. But then you hear about the potential of a terrorist attack on mainland Britain and the potential of them being plotted. And I'm not talking specifically about this case from the Telegraph today. I'm talking about the numerous terror plots that we don't even get to hear about, which are foiled every day by our security services. And I honestly do wonder what would happen if just a handful of those were not stopped, Jeff. You know.
Yeah, sorry, I've just seen a comment about a school in Smethwick. I'm just checking it up to see whether or not this is true. If there's a rumour going about it. News.
Well,
6 hours ago, gang... Wait a minute. 6 hours ago, gang in balaclavas with weapons prompt Midland school lockdown. Daily Record. Mass gang in with weapons force school into lockdown as kids hide under desks. Now, it doesn't say... That's 5 hours ago. It doesn't say anything about who or what. But this, I had totally missed this. Why isn't this big news? Or is it not big news because schools are always in lockdown these days because there are so many threats to our kids?
Yes.
You know something? I'm getting really angry about all this. Yeah, according to the Daily Record, this incident occurred at Shireland Hall Primary Academy in Montague Road, Smethwick, yesterday afternoon, Tuesday, October the 7th. And we're just sort of hearing about, why isn't this big news? Yeah, and a parent told Birmingham Live some of the kids saw the group of men wearing balaclavas and with baseball bats in their hands and potentially other weapons. The kids have been traumatised and some of the parents have refused to send their kids to school today, Wednesday, October the 8th, as the gang were heard saying they will come back tomorrow. Ye gods, what are we putting up with in this country? And I tell you what, before anybody says it, I don't care what colour, creed, or whatever those people were. They need hunting down and they need locking up for years.
Absolutely,
I don't care who
Jeff.
they are. There's nothing racist about wanting to protect your children. This is the big thing now. Everybody wants to protect their children in this country. Oh, no, you're a racist. You can't want to protect. That's just an excuse. What a load of hairy two things. I've had enough of it. And so has everybody else. Come on, Starmer, get your ass into gear and stop this now.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, this is from Deborah Wheatley. She put it up, so... It is not fake news. If the Daily Record and Birmingham Live are saying it, then it must be true, I would say.
Jeff,
there was this case. There was this case yesterday of the girl in Liverpool. Yeah, we are entering dark times. And I'm afraid to say that unless the government gets a handle on this and starts using the police properly, instead of chasing people on social media for things they say about the stuff that they've initiated by their inaction, stupidity, and, well, not stupidity, they're doing it on purpose, actually. But if they don't stop it, then I don't know what's going to happen in this country.
Oh,
People
I do. I think we do know. We do
angry.
know. That's the point, though, Jeff. We do know what's going to happen in this country, unfortunately. And I think it's sort of... Even Robert Jenrick said, in the Tory party conference, the people of Britain now have had enough. They've had enough. That's it. We are literally at boiling point. You can't do this anymore. If there is a situation... look, luckily there was no fatalities and whatever these masked youths or masked people were doing, this gang of masked, whatever they were, went into the school. If there had been something that happened... I don't know. What do you think? What do you think would happen the day after, Jeff? Let's be serious about this now. What do you think would happen the day after that, or that evening? What do you think would happen?
Yeah, well, don't want to talk about it.
Yeah,
Not
exactly.
On here anyway, we'll have a private conversation like we normally do about all of this. But
yes,
after 2 years after October the 7th, when, remember, on October the 7th, they paraded around and people were celebrating. On that day, in this country, the pro-Palestine people were already plotting their constant marches. They had all their placards printed, they had everything ready, and they hit the street running. And Israel hadn't lifted a finger Nothing. Not fired a shot. They hadn't done anything. They didn't go in for until weeks later. So it was all prepared, part of the propaganda. And now we see things like this coming out. This is from Kosher, who's a Jew and a commentator on this sort of thing on Twitter. And he said this: Tower Bridge, London, this is sickening. Pro-Palestine thugs seemingly celebrating the massacre of Jews on the second anniversary of October the 7th, only just a week after the terrorist attack on a synagogue in Manchester on Yom Kippur. And to go with it, he put this up to show us. Anyway, I'll leave that there. Yeah. Don't want to hear any more of that. But you see that, what was going on there. And that's right in the middle of London, sending out a big message. I think the police did go in later, if I just skip to the end of the video a bit, and just show you this bit. No, it's not showing now. So the police did go in the end, but it seemed to take them a long time.
Well, they've got to get.
Anyway,
they've got to make sure that they're okay. There, they have to. The police have to, go in and say, "Are you okay? Is it okay if we put the siren on? It won't offend you, would it? It's like we've got some dogs as well in the dog vans, but I mean, will they offend you? Oh, we'll take them back then." And have a lovely day. Oh, and if you could just move on down a bit, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, someone's put Smethwick. Anyone, Deborah? Yeah, I've said that already. So, yeah. I mean, just go back to the Just Stop Oil lot when they glued themselves to the road, and the police were coming up feeding them cups of tea.
Yeah.
Okay. And all that sort of thing. I'm surprised they didn't help them relieve themselves.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, they probably did.
Yeah, probably did, yeah.
Would you like me to tickle you under your chin? Yeah. Would you like a back massage?
Yeah.
I've talked about back massage.
Too
much. Yeah. And the blue pen's out now,
yes, but
look out.
That's not the only one. Kosher also put up the next one as well. He did quite a few that day because he's a commenter on this one. This was King's Cross. The pro-Palestine crowd are celebrating the October the 7th massacre in King's Cross, London tonight. What the hell has happened to the UK? And this one is this one. I think this is the one. From the river to the sea. From the river to the sea.
Honestly.
And it goes on and on and on from that. And you just look at it and you're thinking to yourself, I don't know, it's just all wrong, isn't it? And there's another one as well. Yeah.
More. There's more, is there?
This one as well.
Oh, here we go.
They don't care.
Are they saying infitada? Are they saying...
Yeah.
Yeah, they're calling for infitada. Oh, right, okay. Yeah.
So they're all at it, doing all of this.
Absolutely pathetic individuals there. So do they know what that means? So they did that on October... Sorry, they've done this on the anniversary of what happened, the dreadful attack that happened on October the 7th. They've done that.
Yep.
Yeah. And they've done it straight after the Yom Kippur attack in Manchester. Yeah, that is fine. That is fine. People are calling... there's one thing to protest, Jeff, okay? And I think everyone has the right to protest, and that should not be stopped. But I'm sorry, if you and I were at a protest and you or I were saying something about calling for the genocide of some group of people, we'll say, in another country, we'd be arrested. Oh, in this country, indeed. Yes.
Yeah.
If we were calling for a genocide of...
People can call for the genocide of the Jews in this country and get away with it. But if you were to call for the proper legal dealing with the groups that are doing that are causing that, you're the ones that get the knock on the door.
Oh,
and
yes,
don't forget, all this while, the woke idiots out there were waiting with bated breath to hear about the rabid right-wing thug that set fire to a car outside a mosque, weren't they? Only to have it broken gently to them that the alleged perpetrator was in fact named Arif Ali Rafiq. And that wrecked the far-right narrative, didn't it? So how deeply has that story now been buried?
But Jeff, come on. He could have been far-right. You know, there's a slight chance he could have been far-right. I mean,
slight chance.
Yeah. I mean, you can't tell, you know, these days, Jeff, who's far right and who isn't. You know, it's like I'm with Starmer. I'm with Starmer on this one. You know, it's like, you know, my wife, you know, she comes in through, hello, darling, and she goes, hello, and I check to see if she hasn't done anything far right when she's walked through the door. What's she doing? She's doing something far right there. Oh, taking your shoes off, are you, dear? Yeah, okay. You didn't take them off in a far right way, then, did you? Okay. So, what are we having for lunch tonight? Oh, we're having bratwurst and sauerkraut. Like what? What? You racist! I'm not having that.
Yes. No, it's racist not to these days, I'm afraid, Richard. Anyway, thank you very much, Steve Edwards. Neville Nerd should be stripped of his England caps. Yes, they've got England flags on them. Although the flag he took down was actually the Union flag, I gather, not the English flag. But he doesn't mind flag waving as long as it's England flags at his football matches. But as far as his type, I'm not saying him specifically, his type are concerned, as soon as the England football game is over, all the England flags must be put away. And then the EU flag or the Palestine flag or the UN flag or any other flag, it doesn't matter, must come out to replace it immediately. That's why they go to great lengths the last night of the proms. I thought one day, can I just go to the last night of the proms? And I gather you have to apply loads and loads and loads of times, and then once you are let in, you sort of get priority to go again and again and again, or something like that. It all seemed to be very insular sort of setup.
See.
You've proved your worth and your attachment to it all. So you end up with a group of EU flag wavers in there forever, basically. Anyway,
yes.
I'm not sure
lovely.
if that's true nowadays, but I read that a few years ago because I thought I want to go and wave a British flag.
Oh, you can't do that. That's racist, damn it.
No, yeah, I know. And Nakama Gluck, thank you very much. This is not a knock on Princess Catherine. I adore her. Yet when I saw her covering her hair with a scarf to meet Muslim leaders quite a while back in her own country, I knew something was very wrong. Yeah, but the other side of it is that Keir Starmer, I'm not sure when you go into a synagogue, are men meant to wear those little caps or not? Is that a tradition or a requirement?
I think so.
Because Keir Starmer,
I think it might.
Keir Starmer wore one, but I wasn't sure that other men around him were wearing one. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Well, whatever,
So,
I suppose. But somebody else wore a headscarf as well quite recently. What was her name? Rachel Reeves, that's right. She wore one. When she was meeting some people of another faith. Yeah. I'm not sure if they shook her hand.
Was that just before the election?
No, I think this was quite recently, Jeff. This is quite recently. Yeah, I think you're thinking of the Angela Rayner where she sat down and basically said it was quite funny actually.
Oh please,
the way she,
please.
Yeah. No, it was the way she was speaking. She weren't talking with her normal accent. She was almost like trying to like. You lot here, I'm going to be standing on you lot if you could support me, because I would sacrifice my career just to make sure that Gaza's free. And it was like, how do you speak normally, woman? What's the matter with you? What's the matter with you? Come on now.
Yeah, well, she did sacrifice her career.
Oh, yes.
For a house.
Yes.
And thank you very much, Nomad. Those who say it's gaslighting should listen to the UAE minister warning Europe about their ignorance about Islam. Yes, in fact, they're not the only one. There's quite a lot of commentators over there who actually look at us in amazement because we're basically allowing in our country what they in the Middle East won't allow. You know, so we got to be a bit, well, we're silly really, aren't we? Allowing any of this. So, yeah. Oh, sorry, did I miss one? Did I put Steve Edwards on up? No sausage in Starmer's speech this time. Shame. Do you remember that? We've got to save the sausages.
Yes, well, I mean, you know.
A complete and utter.
Well, I mean, look, you know, you got him as Prime Minister, okay? And then you got David Lammy, who thinks that he was asked who came after Henry the Eighth, and he said Henry the Seventh, and you know all these like different mastermind, and there was a couple of others, and it was like, oh, good grief, man! What Mary won the Nobel Prize, I think, was it for science or whatever it was. I mean, I think they were alluding towards Marie Curie here.
Yeah.
But no, according to David Lammy, it was Marie Antoinette.
Yeah, something like that.
I'm surprised he did, or Marie or whatever, Marie Antoinette. I'm surprised he didn't say Maria Presley, to be honest with you. Good grief.
Yeah.
Our politicians.
Now, I'm not quite sure what the font is there, so I can't say the name. But whoever it is says, "Don't be angry, Jeff. You'll give yourself a Connery." Does that mean my name will be Sean and I shall star in great films? I think you mean coronary.
Shaken, not stirred. Yes. I actually think I know who that person is, funny enough.
Do you? All right, okay.
Yeah, but we'll leave that there. Yeah.
Yes, homeschool your kids, says Bonnie Scott. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, what I want to point out now is that one of the people that I hadn't heard of for a while, I don't know why I hadn't, but shame on me for not looking and finding it, and because I'm sure I'm, yeah, I'm not sure. Anyway, this is what Lawrence Fox put up. I wish I'd remember to remove these videos. So Lawrence put in this. If you've ever wondered what from the river to the sea Palestine will be free actually means, it means free of Jews. And the reason he said that was because underneath this particular comment was a link in the end going to a video. I'm trying to remove this one, where this girl was talking. Now this girl was talking to an LBC reporter, I believe, and let's just see what she says when asked. This is eye-opening, and it should worry all of us, because if this is general thought, then we do have a problem.
Freedom will be achieved when the Israelis go back to where they were born, which is probably America, Poland.
So you mean leaving the state of Israel? Is that what you mean? You don't believe in the state of Israel?
No, I don't.
You don't understand why Jewish students might feel uncomfortable by that on campus today?
No. I don't. I mean, I understand why they might feel like that, but I don't think that their feelings are valid.
I don't think their feelings are valid. So doesn't that sort of make you wonder? I mean, how long before they're talking to us about our feelings being invalid if they have those sorts of thoughts in their head? I sorry, but these questions have to be asked. We have to ask. When people say things like that, we need to be able to retort and reply, and not have it classed as Islamophobia or whatever other phobia. Because at the moment, all I see is Zionophobia or Israeliophobia. That's all I'm seeing. at the moment.
And Christian
Anyway.
phobia, Christ
And
phobia, there's plenty of that.
Christianophobia.
Yeah, that's quite a
Yeah.
big one, actually. And we need to be keeping an eye on what's going on in the rest of the world right now, especially in Nigeria, where things are really looking pretty dire, to be honest with you. There are millions of people right now who are facing some very serious... Yeah, I'm not going to go into that, but let's just say things are pretty bad there.
Yeah, someone's asked the question, what's going on in Smethwick? As we said earlier, that there is has been some action there. A school went into lockdown because some people turned up with baseball bats and the kids were scared. And the men or women, whoever they were, promised to come back. That happened yesterday, and we're only finding out now. And those involved said they'd be back today. They'd go back today. So, you know... This is this treating our children this way. This is going This is going way beyond the pale. Way beyond the pale.
Yeah, yeah.
Something's going to happen.
Search. We need a proper stop and search reintroduced. You know, like it was years ago. Regardless of your ethnicity, everyone can get stopped and searched, and you know that needs to be introduced now.
Yeah.
And it needs to be harder. I mean, the thing is, it's like this DEI as well with policing. Let's just say years ago, a copper, used to be 6 foot whatever, built like the barn door. And, you didn't really want to mess with him. And if another 20 of them arrived about the same stature with the same attitude, you knew it was game over. And... that was it. And certain actions by the police would not have made it to court because the courts would have just said, oh, yeah, whatever. Yeah. No, the police would back then had respect and they were serving the British people. Right now, I don't know what the police are. There's some good policemen. There are some good policemen out there. I can't say there aren't. You and I both know that, Jeff. But, yeah, it's all changed.
Yeah, someone's just said they had to go and watch something else because they're getting so upset about this. This is the problem, isn't it? People are going to get very upset about all this. They don't want to know anymore. And they'll walk away from it and just hope it goes away. They go and watch some fluffy cat videos on or some, program from ages ago about quiet fishing in an English river and all that, like we used to do, like we had the life we used to have. People want that. And but the trouble is now, the reality is it's no longer here. We live in a new country. It's being foisted on us. It's being forced on us. And it's not good. We need to make a stand in any way we can and find out as much as we can. Yeah, and here's another, Nigeria, no one cares it's happening to blacks and Christians there. Yes, it is. It's happening there in Nigeria. But no one's talking about it. No one cares.
Yeah.
So the only place they care about for some reason is Gaza. And I suspect that's because there are Jews involved. And if there are Jews involved, it's news.
Hang on. I've just read as well, was it 1.3 million Afghans have just been kicked out of Iran?
Yeah.
You got to remember that in this world, there are people being displaced and moved about and not wanted in certain areas. And yet, if we're seeing changes in the United Kingdom that are not compatible with traditional United Kingdom beliefs and our Christian heritage and our Christian culture, Christian constitution, and more to the point, our Christian way of life, okay, where we all had direct relationships with Christ, which is why there's so many empty churches and chapels about the place. Look at them. They're everywhere. They used to be filled multiple times a week. Anyway, I'm going off topic here, Jeff. But yeah, we look back though, honestly, because it's quite. Sorry, I tell you what I wanted to say, Jeff. Yesterday, I dug a video out and I sent it to you, and I said you've got to watch this, didn't I? Keith Floyd. Oh my days. Yes. We miss Keith Floyd. We need more men like Keith Floyd in the world, and that's the Britain that I want to see come back. Where you had people that were just they just didn't care, and there were no F's given about what people thought about them. They just did it. I highly recommend at some point you all watch, what was it? Centurion sauce. Was it pork in Centurion sauce? It is one of the funniest things you'll ever see. I mean, I'm not going to give it away, but the ending is spectacular.
It was a good. It's about 8 minutes long, and it's well worth watching because you sort of, it just goes with the flow, and lovely. Now, back on topic. I'm just going to show you what this is. One from, if I can find it now, from David Atherton, big tweeter. More hysterical anti-Semite hijab-wearing people at a BEAE Systems event at Queen Mary University yesterday. And let's have a look at Queen Mary University yesterday.
Shame! Shame!
Well,
they're all at it, aren't they? It's just, I just
I don't think she'd make a good babysitter somehow. Yes.
No.
She turned up, and said, you got no. Darling, we're cancelling going out tonight. The babysitter, it's her again. It's her. Yes. No, we don't want you. Sorry. No, darling, we're not going out. What do you mean we're not? No, we're not going out. Yeah. No.
Yes. And someone said they were at Glasgow Central as well. Yes. And let's just see what happened at Glasgow Uni as well. They're all at it all over the place, aren't we? Let's try and find that one.
You've got Glasgow Uni, have you? Good grief.
Yes, Starmer Sycophant said, Glasgow University students cosplaying as jihadis kick off their 7th of October atrocities celebrations. Glory to our martyrs. We don't want no two-state. An absolute disgrace. So what I'm going to do is show you that one. So Glasgow University.
Free the 48! Free the 48! We don't want no two-state! We don't want no two-state! We want the 48! We want the 48!
Now, there's two things there. The first one is they want the 48. Now, the 48 actually refers to the parts of Israel, any parts of Israel that have not been taken over by a state of Palestine. That's what that means. And when they say they don't want no two-state, what they mean is they do not want a two-state solution. This is the Hamas line. This is the Muslim Brotherhood line. This is the Iranian line. No two-state solution, a one-state solution, an Islamic state that covers the entirety of what used to be called Israel. That's what they want.
Hang on,
it's
not the Israeli. It's not the Iranian line. It's the Iranian regime's line.
Iranian regime's line. Sorry.
I have to go. Sorry, Jeff. I have to say here, I know a lot of Iranians, and I'm telling you now, pretty much all the ones I know. Oh no, there are one or two. There are one or two who disagree with me, but most of the Iranians I know, they do not support Palestine, which is very interesting. And I'm talking about most. Of course, there are going to be a few. It depends what circles you mingle with, but I'm talking the majority here. And I've seen quite a few different forums, and I bumped into a lot of Iranians recently, funny enough, and they all said, "Oh, so why in the West is everyone assuming that the Iranian people support Palestine? The Iranian people support Israel." And I was like, really? And that's why you see so many of the Iranian flags at the Tommy Robinson marches and standing next to the Jews as well. The Iranian flag with the lion on, lion, I think it is a lion, isn't it? Yeah. But basically it's the Iranian pre-Islamic Revolution flag. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I should have made myself clear. It's so easy to fall into that trap of just saying the Iranian.
No, that's fine. But it's good.
And they don't mean it.
Yeah,
So,
the thing is,
it's
Jeff.
yeah.
Jeff knows everything, but if he doesn't know it, I know it, and vice versa. So yeah. Between us, we know everything. Yeah.
So that sort of shows you. Then you get this. Now, I'm not saying what this guy is saying is what is claimed, but you have to listen to all of it in context and listen to the last bit and what he says. And although the original ex post by Ricky Doolan does say what he thinks. He says, "We are absolutely expecting you to act on this, Nottinghamshire police. It's a clear incitement to violence. It happened in your city." Now, that's his view. I'm not saying if that is how I feel, although if you listen to the last bit of this, I'll play the whole thing. I can't remember how long it is, but it is quite strident. Let's put it that way.
What is jihad? Jihad is really removing oppression. Wherever there may be oppression, what people like Tommy Robinson have to realize is that Muslims do not want to be wiped out like the Aborigines in Australia. Muslims do not want to be wiped out like the Maori in New Zealand, where the white man wiped out the Maori in New Zealand. The white man, he carried out massacres and genocide against the Aborigines in Australia. The white man carried out these massacres and genocide in Canada. He carried out these genocides in the United States of America, and he attempts to carry out these genocides today in Gaza. But the Deen of Islam has legislated jihad, that wherever anyone attempts to carry out genocide, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has commanded the Muslims, do not permit them to carry out genocide. Take up arms and defend yourself, and do preemptive strikes wherever those preemptive strikes, which is offensive jihad, is needed.
So that's quite interesting, isn't it? An offensive strike, a sort of a pre-strike, in self-defense, if you get my drift.
Yeah.
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 And is that the sort of thing that's common sort of stuff in our mosques in this country? We need to know.
Well, no,
we
you
should
see,
know
no,
this.
Jeff, this is all open to interpretation.
Of course.
What the preemptive strike? What they mean is to go on strike. Probably, they might want to preemptively go on strike. Oh, by the way, I think I'm going to sneeze. Hang on. No, it's going to stop. No, it's okay. Yeah, I'm not going to sneeze.
Yeah.
But yes, possible preemptive going on strike. That's what could happen. It's happened before. Or perhaps they're going to, what does the word strike mean? Strike's also got lots of interpretations. I don't think, yes, it's just all normal, or maybe it isn't. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that, Jeff. Yes.
Yes, everybody doesn't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Yes. So I'm just looking at what you sent me.
Oh,
So,
yes. Anyway, well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just going through some stuff here because I've been having a little read through and just a slight little change, a deviation. You see, Kemi Badenoch, apparently, if you read all this press at the moment, it's not too much of a deviation, just a little smidgen of a deviation. Oh, by the way, you lot, right? Press the like button. Before you go any further, press the like button. It helps. It's good. It's good, lovely little like button. And also press the subscribe button and then choose the all option. And make sure you have your notifications. Go to your settings and make sure your notifications from your YouTube app is on. Yeah, that's a big thing. And if you really like what we do, become channel members. Anyway, I'm going to shut up about that now. Right. Anyway, Kemi Badenoch, apparently, if you read the press at the moment, everybody's like falling over themselves about, I've noticed in the Express, in the Telegraph, and in the Daily Mail, they're all saying how wonderful she is because she's going to get rid of stamp duty and that's going to solve everything. And I thought, Well, it's going to help some people, but what they're trying to do is, you know what they're trying to do, Jeff? This is how you and I actually met. They're going to try and reinflate the housing market. That's all this is going to do. Is this how wealth is generated in this country, through buying and the selling of your main your home, your main place of residence? And well, since they're on about removing stamp duty on your primary residence, that's it. But I think, God, they're fawning over her something big time. And another thing, Jeff, and this is something all of you need to think about as well here. You did a video on it earlier on our sister channel, Tripe and Whatnot. Lenny Henry has called for reparations for black British people. I mean, what?
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm just going to read here this in the BBC. So Lenny Henry has called for the payment of slavery reparations to all black British people. Writing in a new book, The Big Payback, the comedian supports the case for the government to give 18 trillion in compensation payments. Okay. In the book, Sir Lenny writes, all black British people need reparations for slavery, adding that we personally deserve money for the effects of slavery. I mean, I can't remember who it was, but one of the commentators I was reading had it spot on. So he's asking for people who haven't actually experienced slavery to get money from people who haven't actually been involved in slavery. Jeff, are you a slave trader? A closet slave trader at all? We need to do an investigation on you there, Jeff, I think. Yes.
Well, what gets me, let's follow this through to its ultimate destination. That means that the people who receive those reparations mustn't pay through the tax system for those reparations. Yes? So that means only one demographic in this country, not the people from other demographics from Asia or from wherever that come here, just the white people will be paying huge extra taxes to transfer it over to the people that he wants to have it. Now, if that's not racist, I don't know what is. And also, it's the most divisive thing I've ever heard, writing a whole book. But the trouble is, you see, it'll never happen, but it'll make him a few quid, won't it?
Well, I don't know. I think he'd be about as popular as the bubonic plague in most places. No,
Richard, how many people of his ethnicity live in this country who agree with him? How many people who are virtue signaling, Lib Dems will all have a copy of that book proudly on their bookshelf, and they'll invite friends round and tell them how wonderful it is. And what do you think all those woke internationalist communists will be sending each other this Christmas? What do you reckon they'll be sending each other? A copy of his book.
Yeah. But I know a lot of people. The thing is, there's a lot of people who are also black who just look at that and go, what a load of rubbish. No.
Yes.
In fact, most of the people you and I, which is most of the people you and I know a lot of black people, because that's the way we are. We are colorblind to race. And I'm sure that, I can guarantee they are completely outraged by this. But the thing is, this again, the fact that we're talking, this conversation has begun thanks to Lenny Henry, incidentally, not us. Thanks to this conversation which he has opened up, he's going to now create potentially a further, we'll call it a split and divide in this country where racism can emerge and where the real far right can go, oh, hang on, look over here. Yeah. Look, see? And they are there. Yeah. There is a real far right. It's nothing to do with a slot Tommy and anything or, reform, advance. Do you know, there are actually people who are stupid enough to believe that that is the far right. Do you know, that's how stupid some people are. Completely stupid.
Have you seen Tommy Robinson's Urban Scoop cameraman?
Yes, Wendell. Yeah. Well, he's not just a camera; he's a presenter. Yeah,
presenter. He's very good.
Exactly.
Very good.
Yeah. He's brilliant.
And Nomad, thank you very much. Jeff, are they asking for a diverse and borderless free Palestine or a land for a certain ethnicity? Is it suddenly okay with them, I wonder? Well, they're not looking so much at an ethnicity. It's more of a what they want to call a race. Yeah, with this Islamophobia thing, they want to turn it into a race that can never be criticised. But I get the idea, yes. So...
Well, this is also to
What I
do with
will
those people who
say-
are calling from the river to the sea as well, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And most of them wouldn't know which river and which sea anyway. You know,
Oh,
it's
absolutely.
just
No.
You know, but they do know what it means in the way that it's just a one. You heard them singing in that Glasgow University. It's all about one, or chanting, not singing, mindless chanting. It's all about one state, and it's the entirety of Israel has to be overthrown, is what they're saying, and they're quite happy with that. And what that girl said, they don't care what happens to the Jews. They have absolutely not a care in the world. And that's what should be frightening us. Because if they're that dismissive of Jews, what do they think about everybody else? Yes. Anyway, there's a fight back. There is a fight back. I'll just show you what Mike Graham... let's see if I've got it here. Mike Graham on X said, "This is funny. Manchester answers Gary Neville. Have some British flags outside your hotel, mate. Brilliant." And this is what he was referring to. They're putting up some flags outside of his hotel, which I thought was a nice little touch. And why not? What's wrong with a good old Union flag?
Oh, it's offensive, Jeff. Yeah, it's offensive.
Yeah, I wouldn't have quite termed it like that, but that's their choice.
Yeah.
There you go. Yes. Just want to let's have a look. Yeah, the anti-slavery movement started in the UK. That's a very, very good point. With, there was William Wilberforce, but the big thing was the Royal Navy being thrown at it. It was thrown at it, and we lost quite a few sailors in those
10,000
fights. Yeah, something ridiculous, 10 or 18, something like that. A large amount of sailors lost their lives doing it. But the thing that really gets me is that everybody thinks, all these lefties think, here's what they think. We sent huge ships full of hundreds and thousands of armed thugs who went into the depths of Africa and rounded people up with all their chains and dragged them back to the... That's just a load of baloney. Didn't happen, because what a slave trading ship had a skeleton crew. It had a very light crew because they had to stuff the ship full of slaves. Every crew member was eating the food and taking up the space that 2 slaves could have filled in chains. And if you look at the plan of a slave trading ship, it's absolutely horrific, but it's there. It shows you how the layout of how they all stack them together like sardines in a can. And that meant that when these slave trading ships turned up, they couldn't go into the interior and do wage war with tribes and capture thousands of people. No, what they did was a few people went there, and one of them handed over whatever it was that the local African trader wanted in return for the slaves they and their tribe captured. Yeah. Then they'd take them on the ship and bring them back. And I've said this before, but on the last couple of nights before the slaving ship got to port to offload their cargo, the crew would not sleep, because only the surviving crew got a cut of the bonus. And the fewer of them there were, the more they got. And that's the type of people that did that.
It was a
hell.
diabolical
Yeah.
trade altogether. The whole thing was, and that's why, luckily, the British did band together and say, we're not having this anymore. I mean, this was something that there was more slave trading going on now, though, Jeff, than went on then. That's the worst part of it.
Yes,
And
no
there
one
were more
cares.
slaves, I believe.
No one cares.
Yeah, no. Mostly kept in Africa and North Africa, I believe the slaves are, North Africa in particular, and in the Middle East
Libya.
you'll find slaves. Yeah, and a lot of the slaves as well, incidentally, come from countries like the Philippines, which is really quite heartbreaking. I spoke to somebody once who was a slave. And probably is still a slave, which is, awful.
Yes, as thank you very much, Neem. Muslims have been enslaving Africans and Europeans for over 1,300 years. Who are we fooling? This is just evil policies to advance evil doctrine. Yeah, I'm not sure. It's
not.
people
It's
that do
most.
it.
It's people. It's yes. Muslims have been doing it. Absolutely correct. But this is something that goes back. It's part of the heritage, you might say, of mankind. I mean, the Romans were doing it. The Greeks were doing it. The Egyptians were apparently doing it. The Persians, you name it. Any great, great civilization. All right. Any notable civilization kept slaves, and a barbaric practice. Although, here's something for you. The term slave has had various different meanings as well. Some people, believe it or not, desired, and this is during, oh, good grief, I'm trying to think of the exact era. It was during one part of the Roman era, and it was very much linked with the Jews as well, desired themselves to be, if I'm correct, I might be wrong. No, I don't know if it was the Jews. But anyway, there have been times in history where people have desired to become slaves because they were so well treated by their slave owner, better than them trying to fend for themselves. And in fact, there was was it in Rome? Oh, good grief, I'm too tired tonight. But in one of the great civilizations of antiquity, if you mistreated your slaves, you were not well liked. And of course, we hear about what happened to Christians and slaves sent into the gladiatorial arenas. That was horrific. But there were different classes as well within that. It's all very complex, Jeff. Mankind and history. Yeah. But this is why when Lenny Henry comes and says, we want 18 trillion, not just for British slaves, but for, I think he's talking about the Commonwealth through the Caribbean country, Caribbean and various different countries around that area. It's like, what you would want people to be absolutely destitute in the United Kingdom? Is that what you're saying? None of the people in Britain, have benefited financially from slave trading on a personal level. I know there's an argument against that. Say, but the argument also extends then to black people who live in Britain, who may have benefited from living here. They're not necessarily the descendants of slaves,
No, but how about the black slave owners and slave sellers in Africa? How much benefit did they get from all of that? Why aren't we going for them?
Yes.
And why aren't we going for their great grandchildren and all the rest of it? We don't, though, do we? Because it doesn't fit the narrative, which is the stupid part of it all. As Nishama Gluck says, thank you very much, let's not mention that many Muslim countries those crazies come from still openly and legally practice slavery. That would be far wrong to mention. Well, I would say legally, legally or locally acceptable, but legally it should be in international law that everybody talks about, it's illegal. But it still goes on, doesn't it? Just shows you, talk to those people about human rights. Now, what I've got to do is just point out that it's not just the UK that is suffering from Zionophobia or whatever you want to call it. It's also been happening elsewhere. Now, what I've got to do is, because we've had so many things in, I've got to clear out some of the tweets and videos that I've already got in the system just to add some new ones. And the first one I'm going to show you is from Syrian Collective, if I can find it.
Jeff and technology.
Yeah, well, I've got to open it up. You see, Barcelona. Yesterday, Muslims with the free Palestine hate group attacked and vandalized Jewish stores and businesses in Spain. This never had anything to do with Palestine. And what they're actually talking about here is, digging the video out now, is... See, I've got to find it now again. Badam, Sharing Collective. This, there's no sound on this. I took it out because it was just... But you can see them. They're just attacking. And they're smiling and laughing about it. Yeah, it's all good fun, isn't it? Attacking people, making them feel a bit fearful about their safety. I just find all this a bit... it's disgusting, really, isn't it? And just imagine if...
Yeah. Sorry,
so that's in Spain. But, and not only that, there's also the one that's going on in New York City. And this is Ayel Yacobi, who put this one out. And I'm just going to go and find this one.
Well, whilst you're finding it, Jeff, whilst you're finding it, those scenes you saw kicking, maybe there was somebody in distress inside the building, and that's why they were kicking the building to try and get in to help. Yeah. Well, we have to, we otherwise it would. I mean, the implications otherwise are that they were doing something very evil and unjustifiable, and should be arrested, and that we have a very big problem with society. But that can't be the case, Jeff. No. Well,
that's in Spain, so what do you expect anyway? Ayel Yacobi says, breaking a crowd of Islamists in New York City waving Hamas flags declare that they will presumably carry out attacks in the US. We did not act enough. We will show up stronger than we did the 1st October the 7th. And just to show you what they were talking about, I'll just add in the video and you can see for yourself. Here we go.
We did not act enough. We did not act enough. We did not act enough. Repeat after me. We did not act enough. We did not act enough. If we acted enough. The headline behind me would read. Gaza has been liberated. So our work is not done. Show up. We must show up. Stronger than we did the 1st October 7th. Louder than we did the 1st October 7th. Make it clear that we are not going anywhere. We will keep fighting until Palestine is free. From the river to the sea. Within our lifetime. Make some noise.
Shut them up. Absolute.
Yeah. So there you have it. It's there laid out. We're going to do it again until the river to the sea is achieved. That is what's going to happen. It's going to keep happening. And if it doesn't happen, they are going to widen it out. Be no doubt. We've got to be careful in this country, and in the rest of the world has got to be careful as well. So, yeah.
Yes, we're in deep trouble, Jeff. We are in deep trouble.
Just to go on from, thank you, Neem. I didn't mean just Muslims, but this blaming only whites for the institution is just plain wrong. Remember, Britain and France went to war to stop it. Yes, we understand. That's why we mentioned other things. The whole thing is, it's not. This whole slavery thing is not just one. It's everybody was at it. From a million years ago onwards, people have been doing it. Whatever.
China's still at it. It's still good on in China.
The Uyghurs.
Yeah.
The Uyghurs. Yeah. Sorry, the Uyghurs.
Yeah. It's not just the Uyghurs. There is slavery is alive and well in this world today, far worse than it ever was.
And as Natasha Gluck has come back and said, I stand corrected. Legally is not the correct term. It's not legal, but openly, rampantly, and systematically is more accurate. The governments are of the largest perpetrators. Yes, they just allow it. It's part of the economy, especially in places like China and I suspect Russia as well. So, yeah, that is the thing. Now, I don't know whether you've heard, but we've had an extra 35,000 newcomers enter the country successfully. They've made the journey across the Channel, aided and abetted by the French Navy, the UK border, and the UK border farce, and the RNLI. So
really?
They're all, they're all here, and the 35,000th one I think came today, and this is what. So I've got to go and find an image file again. This has got to be. Come on.
Come on, Jeff. Come on. You can do it. You can do it, Jeff. Come on.
I know I can do it. That's the trouble, is I can't find his tweet now, can I?
Oh dear.
Yes.
Well, some people came into Britain anyway.
No, here we go. I was looking for Nigel, not Nigel Farage said, a video from the English Channel this morning as hundreds of young men crossed. Today we will go through the 35,000th for the year.
Splendid.
And the 35,000th was probably amongst these people here.
Oh, let's see them.
Yeah,
there they are.
That little
Hello.
boat there. That little
Hello.
boat. Yes.
Ah,
and they've
lovely.
got all those ships around them, helping them, and there's a dinghy.
Oh, yes.
There's a rib, as they call it, to the right, and all the rest of it. So, getting ready to come swanning across. How wonderful for them.
Oh, excellent! Leaving the war in France, leaving. It's like Dunkirk. Never ended. Yeah, it just keep
It's
bringing
in
them
reverse.
across. Yeah,
It's in reverse.
Yeah. No. Dunkirk.
We're
this is
saving
the correct
people.
way. Yeah, they're bringing them back. Yeah, they're bringing the troops back. Yes.
Yeah.
No, not
Yes.
troops. I mean, the people fleeing the tyranny of France.
Yeah, they're not troops, Richard.
Awful.
They are not troops.
No, they're not. I was thinking of the troops in World War II. Then, sorry, I do apologise,
Yeah,
ladies and
absolutely,
gentlemen.
yes.
And I'm really sorry if somebody got offended there. Did you get offended? Did you, like?
Yeah. Yes, there's a lot of problems that we're facing at the moment. So, yes. Lenny Henry is as funny as a cold, says Paul Morgan. Yes, he is. When I was younger, I think I found him funny in one or two things. But just recently, no.
Yeah, well, he was, when he was younger. But we used to have some great comedians years ago. But he was a very different comedian years ago, incidentally.
Yeah, I think he was.
And he wouldn't be allowed to do half the things he did years ago, incidentally. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I'm not going to go into too much of that because that's the stupid country we live in. Yeah.
Lord Viking says, perceived offence, jail. And it is perceived, isn't it? If it's perceived, you go to jail. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Now, this Labour government, we know, will never stop any of this. And although I doubt the Tories will follow through on their rhetoric, basically because of the number of wets they still have in the party, at least they're making the right kind of noises. And we've heard it from the likes of Robert Jenrick, the Shadow Justice Secretary. But I'm always wondering that at the end of the day, is the ECHR under threat from them? I mean, Kemi Badenoch has told everybody that only those who back the full leaving are going to be allowed to stand for Parliament. Oh, they'll say what they want to get into Parliament, won't they? And once they're in, there's nothing you can do about it, really, because they're in. And if it's. Anyway, she did actually say something. Now I've got to find another quote. This is from Politics UK. So if I find Politics UK, here we go. Watch, Kemi Badenoch attacks Home Secretary Shabana Mahmood. She tries to convince us she's tough. I remember when she lay down on the ground in front of Sainsbury's protesting because they were selling food from Israel. And that's the whole thing, isn't it? I don't know where half of these people really stand. I mean, we just don't know, do we? If Shabana Mahmood can say things 1 minute and say other things the next, where do they really stand on this? We need politicians that we can really, really, really trust at the end of the day.
I don't
I'm
trust
not sure
Home
that
Secretary.
No, this is the whole point, isn't it? And let's just see what here's what she actually said.
Got the measure of them conference. Just look at Shabana Mahmood, the new Home Secretary. She's trying to convince us that she's tough, right? I remember when Shabana Mahmood tried to stop foreign criminals being deported. Do you remember that, Rob? I remember when she lay down on the ground in front of a Sainsbury's protesting because they were selling food from Israel. So forgive me if I treat this newfound tough image with a little skepticism.
Yeah, and I remember as well Kemi Badenoch saying a few things about immigration that she was quite favourable of. So I don't trust her either. But at the same time, do you know what, ladies and gentlemen? There is a thing about Kemi Badenoch that she is quite good in some respects. You know, she's very presentable and a good politician, you know, in terms of work in the mechanics of politics. I'm not saying she's, worth voting for a minute, but at the same time, there is something, I don't know, there's something I like about Kemi Badenoch. I always have done. I thought, nah, she's not bad. She's not bad. Yeah. But then again, I don't trust her. So what does that matter? You know, but we keep going back to this. I mean, I always see quite a few comments here saying Advance UK. I'm in total agreement, because the one person in this country who you look at and you go, yeah, he is prime ministerial material, and that is Ben Habib. He's just got it. He's got it. Yeah. That it. You know, can you imagine, you know, it's like, I can't envisage Nigel Farage as prime minister. I look at him and go, no, I can't see him at the dispatch box and having full confidence in him. I don't trust him in a lot of things, but you know, he's probably going to be the next prime minister, and he'll definitely be better than Keir Starmer. I have no doubt. How long he will be prime minister for, though, is another matter, because I believe Mohammed Zia Youssef will be installed very quickly after Reform do get in. But there we go. Yeah, sorry, Jeff, I just went off on one then. Over to you, mate. Over to you.
James Jenkins says Advance UK all the way. So, yes. You know my feelings on this. I'm all for Reform. For Advance UK as well. But Reform UK, if they're the only ones that you're able to vote for, if the election was tomorrow or next week or whatever. Because as I understand it, the Advance UK has put their application in to become an actual registered proper party that can stand in elections. But I don't know how long it will take for them to actually get the nod from the Electoral Commission. So, it's...
Sorry, Jeff, there's a comment here as well from Matt. Nick Tenconi would be brilliant. Do you know what? I've got a lot of time from Nick. I've spoken to him quite recently, and hopefully getting him on the show as soon as we can. But I've got a lot of time for that young man, and I think there's I don't want to sound all Jedi Knightish, but I see a path before him, and a great one as well, incidentally. I really do. Don't write Nick Tenconi for 1 minute. The things he is saying are the things he... How can I explain it? Well, nobody else is saying some of the things that he's saying. And it's not because they're particularly bad. It's just that they're a little uncomfortable for a lot of people who... you've got to get real with this. You've got to get real. And he is certainly real. There we go. Oh, and the thing is that the other day, he just put it on Twitter earlier. He said that, look, it's like this. that those people who are trying to, if he was to become prime minister, on day one, the military would be sent out into the channel, stop the boats, that's it, turn them back, whatever, gone. And people who are in this country who shouldn't be in this country would be rounded up and would be, off you go, taken away. Goodbye. Leave Britain.
The only caveat I would put to that is that you'd have to give the armed forces, the Royal Navy, the rules of engagement to actually do that, and they would still have to abide by UK law. Everybody has to obey UK
yes,
law.
But
so what
if
you
Parliament
have to
is
do,
sovereign, Parliament has to do
if Parliament
it.
is sovereign,
they
have to change the law. They
Correct.
have to change, and there is a set procedure for changing the law at statute level. You can do it quickly, but you can't do it on day one. It's impossible. Impossible. Yeah,
I don't
honestly,
know.
you can't do it. You can't do it.
I don't know. I
Even
personally
passing
think
statutory instruments.
I think we're getting beyond. We're at a point now with this in this country where we're getting beyond. I mean, the law's being broken every second of the day. I mean, we just played videos of people breaking the law in this country, calling for genocide. That's happening. The law is constantly being broken. It's just
it's being broken in the favour of certain people, and if you change the law against those certain people, it will still be broken by the very people you're asking to deal with it, because the woke mindset is so deeply entrenched. You've got to go through a massive personnel change. We really do need to clear out some of this woke deadwood, get rid of it, and start bringing some action people in. You're up against, we know we're up against a hardcore of the judiciary, loads of the civil servants, loads of the police, all at the higher levels. This is the problem. So,
Well, there needs to be a root and branch clear out of those people. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
That's it. Yeah.
And it
has,
takes a
has
lot
to take place. Well,
I mean,
you get you get your ducks lined up before you go into Parliament. You get the whole system ready.
And guess who's doing that? Ben Habib. They're going to have all the laws written out and made part of the manifesto, so that when they walk through the door, no one can argue with them and say you can't do that because of this, that, and the other. They'll just say the people have given us a clear mandate to pass these laws. That's how you do it. And then
I got to say,
get it through as quickly as possible. Now, thank you, Neem, for your contribution. The age of political parties is coming to an end. Policy will be the decider of votes. This is what years of weak leaders get you. They don't get it. Political parties, it's always been, it's one of those things, isn't it? It doesn't matter how you do it. We've seen it in Europe with political parties. They try to say, we're going to have proportional representation and everything will be fine and dandy, until people from the right wing get voted in as the majority parties, and then they refuse to work with them. So you still don't get democracy.
Yes.
You don't get any democracy. You never get democracy when the establishment is full of woke people. People insist on voting for them.
Well,
a lot of people are very frightened of voting for radical change. That's a big problem. People can see the problems, but I want it dealt with, but quietly in the background. Don't affect me. The radical changes that are needed are going to affect everybody. I'm afraid they will. It's going to cost money, and it's going to it's going to cause a lot of angst here and there.
But just going back to what I was going to say, though, Jeff, about, at the end of the day, it is quite remarkable what Ben Habib is putting together. It has to be recognised. The party structure that he is pushing for is nothing short of genius. I mean that. If anything's going to work, it'll be advanced. This is something, and I think this needs to be really pushed by everybody in advance, really, is because it's one thing, yes, indeed, to have policy ready. That's fantastic. But to have the entire structure, everything's just ready for day one to step in. Oh, my days. That's incredible. That's incredible. And again, as I said, don't write off Nick Tanconi. I want to see a unification of what we will call loosely the right. I don't like this term, the right. He's got some great work to do, Nick has. There we go.
Yes. I will point out this one because I've looked into this one. Samail says Israel armed Azerbaijan with drones and cluster ammunition to cleanse Armenian Christians from Nagorno-Karabakh. Yes, as far as I'm aware, that is what happened. They did arm them to move a lot of people out of an enclave in the middle of Azerbaijan. So yeah, not nice. Not nice.
Do you know what? Not nice. I agree, but you know, as you were going to say right now, every country right now in the world is involved. If you think we live in a country, or that there is a country which is squeaky clean, and you might find it was not necessarily Israel, but a company from within Israel. You just don't know the subtleties of international geopolitics and the movements of arms, munitions. It's terrifying. It's terrifying.
Yeah.
I had my late uncle was a bit of an arms mover, we'll say. He was a bit of a character.
I'm with Elvis. I blame Kevin the hamster.
Yeah. But no, Jeff, listen now, because it's like my uncle. You have to hear about my uncle. He was quite a character. And he always slept with a magnum under his bed. I mean, that's not exactly a
What, you mean one of those
thing.
ice lollies? You mean those ice lollies?
Yeah,
those fancy ones? Yeah, they're very nice.
Yeah. All right, Jeff. All right. No, he had a loaded magnum under the bed. I'm serious. And I was like, this is Britain. And he's still up there. There we go. I mean, he's long gone now. He is. God rest his soul. Lovely chap. But he was and these things go on everywhere, I'm afraid to say.
And I will also point out that everyone was up in arms when there was a brewery, a company in the West Bank that I think they are selling beer to Co-op. And everybody went, oh, that's wrong. They're all kicking off about it. But when you looked into it, the company concerned was in a small town or a village in the West Bank, which was the last Christian village in Palestine, according to what they said, what they called it. So, and they were brewing beer and they were going to export it to Scotland. And everybody was up in arms. How can they made the assumption if it's in the West Bank, it can't be Christian, it can't be anything but something else. All I will point out that there is so much stuff on the ground that people don't know about, and relationships right on the ground, deep down. It's like someone coming into the country and just completely sort of treating everybody exactly the same, whether they're from Aberdeen or from, I don't know, Reading. They must all be the same. They must all be the same religion. They must all be the same. And we're not, are we? So
quite interesting. In Iran, there is a region in Iran. I'm not sure if it's near Isfahan. I can't remember exactly where it was. But there's so much alcohol made there, okay? They reckon that if you lit a match, the entire place would explode. We're talking moonshine here, but not rubbish moonshine. We're talking, quality alcohol, which is made in the little small backstreet distilleries and stuff. And this goes on. Everything is not as it seems in this world. And that's the thing conclusion I keep coming to. Jeff, you and I spoke the other day. Was it today? Was it? Whenever it was, anyway, damn it. About Russell Brand. Something Russell Brand said. And it really, really, it grabbed me, it did. He said he's going to be going off, I think off social media for a while. Because he said, there's so much hate in the world. And I know how he feels about that. Because sometimes I think, do you know what? There's just so much hate out there. How can we change this? And he said he wants to be there to to do something positive for Christ, he says. And I'm like, yeah, I know that feeling. And sometimes you have to check yourself. And all of us, I think, need to sometimes just look in the mirror and say, okay, this world is knackered. And it's good to, I think that what we do, Jeff, is very important, that we get to vent. And other people vent along. Let's vent along. Let's get it out there. Let's talk and be real. At the same point, at the same time, you think, at what point do we have to do something constructive? Now, we're trying to push with Advance UK, and we try and push forward concepts as well. Jeff does some great concepts, and I have a go as well every now and again. I'll have you know. But yeah, well, it does happen. I do have an original idea at least once every 3 years. But anyway, I personally think that the greatest thing we can do is just get back to church, and I've got to get to church a little more often than I am at the moment. Time's been against me, but we all need to get to church. That is the answer. And all of us, none of us are perfect. None of us are perfect. We're all fallen creatures, but if we can try and do an incremental improvement in ourselves, get to church, be exposed to the body of Christ, be involved with the Christian community, the whole thing that's how Britain was built in the first place. Get back to basics. Jeff.
Yeah. The Outer Limits says, brewed in Scotland. I should have made myself clear on that. It wasn't actually exporting the beer. They were exporting the license so that it could be brewed under license for in Scotland in a brewery there. Okay, so just to make that clear. Now that I've done that, let's have a look. Yeah. Thank you very much. All things film with Yam Yam. Everyone watching is from different areas of the UK. Everyone should purchase leaflets from Advance UK site and post through Letterbox and spread it. Yeah, this is Advance UK is going for the good old fashioned approach that worked. That does work. Is actually going out and talking to people, handing out leaflets and knocking on doors. I did that for years in the run-up to the referendum and afterwards, the EU referendum, and it works. You talk to people and you don't push it, you just give them the option, and it does work. So that's what Advance UK are going to be doing. Yeah.
Yeah, Boudica or Boudicca says, love going to church. Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, I enjoy I go to my Orthodox church. Actually, I met a lady came in the other day who was a viewer of the channel and didn't know that I was going. She looked shocked when she walked through the door and saw me. Maybe she thought she ought to go to another church.
Well, I would.
She did come up and have a chat.
Yeah. What's that saying?
Nice.
I would never join a club that would have me as a member, isn't it? I think, yeah.
Yeah, but in your case, it's you wouldn't join a club that would have me as a member.
Oh, definitely not. Definitely not.
Yeah.
You certainly know their standards were low if they'd have either of us.
Well said, Sarah.
Yes, correct. Correct, Sarah. Yes, being a Christian is, yes.
Yeah. Tina Turnip says, 2 churches in my area are being demolished. HMO being renovated about 60 feet away from primary school. How sick. The reason churches get demolished, I'm afraid to say, is because no one goes to them. So they're taking up space, and people come along who are not of the faith, and they say, get rid of them. We'll put something there that people will use. And this is the problem. You know, and it will just happen more and more and more unless we go and use them. I always, if someone said to me, oh, I want to start a campaign to stop them knocking this old, nice-looking church down, I would ask, well, how many people go to it? You can't have buildings all over the place that no one uses. The more of those, if you're not going to use it, you know, does it looking pretty mean that it should just still stay there and just be empty? No human use in it at all. No, we need to get back into churches and start using them.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So just there's a bit of a headline here as well in the Daily Mail as well. the signs of a global financial crash are everywhere. Gold's hit record price. Would be wise to prepare for catastrophe. Well, we've been saying this for a long time, Jeff, and sometimes we were right once.
Once.
We did call out.
Yeah, once.
Yeah, we were right once about this, but no, the signs are there. Yes. How long can this carry on for? Yeah. Stability is not exactly.
We are in very, very difficult times, and a lot of people, even the wealthy people, the people who go and buy lots of gold and silver and all this sort of thing, they're just almost in the hope that it'll all crash and they can come out as the big rich kids on the block afterwards, forgetting that if everything collapses, it's going to be those who are willing, because there's going to be no law enforcement and there's going to be no checks and balances. There's going to be nothing to stop them. It will be those who are willing to go all the way, if you get my drift, who will win. Just think Russian oligarchs, the ones that can get in there. It's not
what
just
you're talking about, Jeff, is
you've got
those who, if you have gold, you have to be able to protect it, is effectively what you're saying, I think.
Well, no, you've got to. It's not even that. I mean, if you've got gold, you've only got it to buy stuff with, and you'll be buying it from the people who have gone out and got the stuff, like the food, the energy. I'm saying, think about oligarchs. The big oligarchs were the ones that grabbed hold control of Gazprom and all the rest of it out there. All those big companies.
Yeah.
And then the people with the gold are forced to buy it from them at whatever price is charged. So, it's all very well saying, I'm going to have all the gold. And then once the economy recovers, suddenly the gold price starts deteriorating anyway.
Yes, but
it swings, and you've got, at the end of the day, the best thing you can have probably is a couple of acres of land with a nice house that you can keep warm in winter and growing turnips and potatoes and a couple of chickens.
That can be taken off you as well. That can be taken off you as well.
That can be taken off of you. So you've got to be able to defend yourself as well.
Yeah, so the whole point of this, though, is, but you have to be able to defend that. If you have acquired in your lifetime assets, we'll say, gold, whatever, at some point, if there is a breakdown, a societal breakdown, you have to be able to ensure that it remains yours. And I can't say any more on that, really, to be honest with you, unfortunately, because it would be wrong for me to do so.
Yes. Now, Boudica says, my Catholic church is always packed on Sunday, but also the masses during the week. It's a very active church, but certainly isn't woke. Well, you're lucky.
Wonderful.
You're very lucky to find one. Yeah, so I'm glad for you.
I mean, there is a sort of level of progression in terms of churches and how woke they are. There's like a spectrum with. I think you've got on the I suppose you've got the Orthodox Church on the one side, and then you've got the Church of England and the Church of Wales on the other side, and the end of the spectrum. And obviously, Orthodox being the least woke that I've encountered, Catholicism comes second, I would say, and from there on, it's just varying degrees of rainbow colours, really, in the spectrum. Quite an apt bit of terminology there as well.
Yes. Yeah, so, Jeff, did you know Alf Garnett's son-in-law was Sherry Blair's father? Yes, I did, yeah.
Jeff knows everything, and if he doesn't, I do.
Well, it's when you say son-in-law, Alf Garnett, the actor Alf Garnett, as, in the show, that guy who played opposite Eunice Stubbs, was it? Yeah.
That's one that Jeff knows.
That has now summed up my entire knowledge of anything celebrity. Do you know, I get these I do puzzles to keep myself, when I wake up in the morning and I feel a bit woozy, I do some puzzles, pick up my crossword puzzles.
No, they're called shoelaces, they are, Jeff. They're just shoelaces.
Yeah. They are puzzles. Shoelaces are puzzles to me. Do you see the struggle I have putting my bloody socks on these days? When you get to my age, You know, the grand old age of 68, you tend to have trouble putting your socks on. I can tell you that for free. Anyway, I do some puzzles, and they always come up. They always present you with the surprise puzzle of all these celebrities. And I'm looking through the names, and I'm thinking, who are these people? What have they done? Oh, they were in a film. Oh, wow, you know. Means
But there's a lot of
nothing
there's
to
a
me.
lot of celebrities out there today who you can't think why they are celebrities. I mean, it's mostly down to looks in some respects, but I don't even think they're that good looking, either the males or the females. You know, it's just like there's something not right about society and the world today. It's like people aren't as magnificent as they were, you know, in days long gone. People just had a magnificence about them. Today, people aren't so wonderful anymore. Something's happening. Perhaps it's something they put in the water, or it's 5G, or they're spraying us with something. You never know. Whatever it is, they're removing the magnificence of mankind.
You wait for 8G.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Yes. And C.S. says, get a shoehorn, Jeff. Thanks very much. Yeah, it's the socks I have the main problem with, though. You know, it's back problems and this sort of thing. Yes. I wonder if I qualify for a PIP of some sort.
Yeah. Well, my back is
Trouble
absolutely dreadful.
Yeah.
My back is absolutely dreadful right
Oh,
now.
I'm glad I'm not the only one. Sorry, I shouldn't say that, Grenville Kember. I shouldn't say that. I mean, I really wish you were able to put your socks on easily, but I get what you're saying. Yep, nightmare getting socks on. Yes. Woke churches are to blame. Yep. Yeah, some of them are a bit.
But they're no
woken,
good,
aren't
that's
they?
for sure. I mean, I find it blasphemous. I do these woke churches, and there's a lot of things I find quite blasphemous and heretical. Go on, anyway, Jeff. You carry on.
Yes, John Dingle, thank you very much. Good evening, all. Yes, are you a policeman?
Hey, John.
You sound like a policeman.
Evening, all.
Evening, all. Yeah. Yes, well, there you go. Yeah, someone's saying here that over 30 churches a year are burnt to the ground, nothing from the government. One mosque gets fire damage, our Home Secretary is livid. Yeah, it does sort
It's
of
more than
sum
that.
it up, doesn't it?
There was 9,000 attacks on churches, I believe, in the past 3 years. I think it was 9,000 attacks in the United Kingdom. Let me just double check that a second, Jeff. I'm pretty much certain that is the case.
Just shows you what the opposition thinks about destroying our religion, doesn't it?
Yes, here we go. This is the National Churches Trust. And it says over 9,000 crimes, 9,000 crimes reported at UK churches in just 3 years. Last week, the Countryside Alliance published new research showing that on average, at least 8 crimes took place at churches every day from 2022 to 2024. The statistics are sadly no surprise, and now, through no fault of their own, repair cost to fix damage will be up to 20% more expensive for listed churches. It's...
Yeah, and there is
There we
only a
go.
very small fund. There is only a very small fund for
Yes.
dealing with listed buildings, especially churches. Was it 40% or half of Grade 1 listed buildings are churches or religious buildings?
We did cover this once, actually, Jeff. I can't remember
Yeah,
how
we
it was
did.
a
It's
while
a
ago.
long time ago.
Yeah.
So I don't know. This is a very serious proposition being put forward here by Matt, because he says Derek Trotter for Prime Minister. Do you know something? I don't think he could make a bigger mess of it than it's being made already. You know.
Yeah, I've heard some things there, but anyway, we'll move on. Another one from
Yes,
John
I know
Dingle
you have,
here.
Richard.
Yeah. Okay, from John Dingle.
What?
Is a super chat here. I applied for
Yeah, I've already
the...
said good evening. Oh,
No.
this is
See?
this is the next one from John. This is the one I was just going to press. I applied for the Grampian Police when I was 19, when I lived in Scotland for a while. I was turned away because I couldn't speak Gaelic. Too old now. Yeah. I suppose when you live in areas where Gaelic could be spoken by criminals, you know. So it's like in Wales. Do all the Welsh police have to speak Welsh?
I don't
There's
think
one
so.
thing I do know. There's one thing I do know. I'm absolutely convinced that police officers in England are not required to speak English.
Well, in certain parts, I've heard. Well, I mean, if the things that Robert Jenrick was saying the other day are correct,
Yes.
then yes, I'm not going to say any more
Yeah.
because we can't. He can get away with it. We can't.
Yeah. Some people can say it, yes.
Yes, these attacks
Right,
on
yes.
churches are evil.
Sorry.
Yes, and a sign of the
Yes,
time.
I was just trying to look through these comments.
They will not
while
win. No, they will not win, Sarah. They will not win at all. No.
So I'm having
No.
a bit of a cramp in my right leg at the moment. So I'm having a bit of a problem. Another sign of age,
dear.
cramps. Yeah.
There we go,
Yes,
ladies and gentlemen.
isn't
You've
it?
tuned in to watch Jeff and I have cramps and go, oh, yeah. If he says, oh, my sciatica, because my sciatica, I tried to go for a walk earlier. That didn't go too well. Oh, dearie me.
No, because I was phoning him up while he was rolling about in a hill and dale in Wales somewhere. Yes.
Aye.
Yes.
Aye. Yes. Didn't go too well, that one, didn't
Yes, Keir Rodney Starmer. Is his name, isn't it? Has he got a middle name called Rodney? Can't remember now.
Yes, he has, I think. Is it Rodney?
Is he? Check
Hang
it up,
on.
Richard. Check it up.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure it's Rodney. And there's nothing wrong with the name Rodney, by the way.
And before someone gets offended. Yeah.
Yeah, before anyone gets offended, let's have a look here. Yes, Sir Keir Rodney Starmer. That's a great name. You got to hand it to him. Why, he may be a crap prime minister. He may be not just a joke, but a very dangerous man. But boy, has he got a good name. Keir Rodney Starmer. Man, he sounds like a gangster. You know? He could be one of the Krays there, couldn't he? You know, Keir
Almost,
Rodney Starmer. Yeah. Except
Well, he's running a protection racket, isn't he? Have you seen him? Yeah, his punches.
Yeah.
Boy, he'd put the fear of God into,
Tyson.
Saved by Grace says, pink ladies demonstrating counter-protest outside Tower Hamlet Council with large police presence. Yeah, this is in response to the Tower Hamlets Council calling them far right, like anyone who lifts up a British flag is also far right. And they just got angry and said, we're just going to go and tell them. And that's when it struck me that it's not the angry white men that our Gary Neville needs to be worried about. It's the angry child protecting women that we've got to be worried about and support. So are you looking that up, are you, Richard?
Yes. I'm just looking.
Yeah, so Richard's having a quick look to see if there's
photos
anything about
here.
what's going on.
Just seeing some good, people are assembling there. Some nice photos. One, two nice photos. Not that much at the moment. Current scenes. Yeah, people are just gathering together and doing what they should do, which is, be able to have their right to say whatever they want to say, within reason, of course. As long as you're not inciting hatred or genocide.
It's not so much.
Wait. There are a group of people who've been doing exactly that recently. Yes. But that's fine. I mean, do you hear the Home Secretary making as much of a fuss? Because she was out there talking about the United Kingdom marches and the flags and all this. Oh, that was evil. Oh, good grief. She used the P word and the P bashers and... When I say P, by the way, I'm talking about a racist terminology that has been used in the past. You know the P word I'm talking about. But she was talking about them and saying that they were the natural heirs of the National Front, that anyone who's involved in that march was effectively. Yet, it's okay to call for genocide on the streets. What did she say? What has she come out and said about that? That's extremely strong and tackles it directly head on. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Joke.
No, I agree.
Complete joke.
Yeah. John Dingle, thank you. Will the dictator of public prosecutions, two-tier liar, protect Christian churches from Islamic pro-Hamas or Antifa attacks? Probably not. It's one of those things, isn't it?
Oh,
No. Yeah.
No, I think he will. Yes, of course. Look, Keir Starmer will. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. We must have full faith in our Prime Minister. He is applying the law, ensuring that the law, I should say, is applied equally and with equal measure right across all sections of society. Yes. Of course he is. Yes.
Yeah.
A point you made in a video as well, though, which was quite interesting, Jeff, was about effectively we're starting to see demographic change in the United Kingdom, and that's something that Robert Jenrick highlighted, where he said he didn't see a white face. And where was he visiting? I can't remember the name of the place. Somewhere near Birmingham, I think it was, or part of Birmingham.
Yep.
Anyway, should it be the case that we should have equal proportions of all faiths and religions and and ethnicities all living together? Maybe there should be a law about that, Jeff. What do you think? That we should all live in equal portions?
We did discuss that some areas have massive imbalances in when compared to the national average of ethnicities across the country.
Yes.
So what would happen if every council that had an ethnicity imbalance of more than 20% from the norm got zero government funding until they'd sorted it out? I mean, for me, this concept of white flight from cities should be reversed. I think it's in the national interest to reverse it. I really do. It'll stop a lot of the division, it'll stop a lot of the division. It'll stop a lot of invite them, get them back in, make it amenable to them, and all the rest of it. And then if they move in, then others will move out in exactly the same sort of way.
No, what it is, I think it's because there are more white people in Britain than there are other ethnicities. So I think if we want to get this problem solved, what we have to do is either have more people of different ethnicities come into Britain, or lots of white people should leave Britain, maybe. Is that what should happen, Jeff? What do you think? Maybe that'll sort the problem
I sometimes get the impression that certain of our political masters would like Britain to emulate the world population, where the white people are about 8 to 10% of the total. So if we were that here, you just think about the massive demographic changes that the WEF and the UN and our political masters would have to foist on us, and the things they would have to go through to achieve it. And of course, they're not doing any of those things, are they? Anyway.
Well, Jeff, ladies and gentlemen, one of the things I really am looking forward to doing is maybe for his birthday, which I think is coming up quite soon, isn't it, Jeff? Or is it
shut up?
Soonish?
Yeah,
but when Jeff's birthday comes, I'm thinking of getting him a DNA ancestry test.
No.
Yes.
No, I don't need it. I don't need it.
I just want to see the look on his face if he finds out he's part French.
I'm English.
Yes, 100% pure English. Absolutely. You were here before, your genetic foundations predate Stonehenge, damn it. Yes.
John Dingle, thank you. What are the chances of Rachel Reeves becoming PM and Red Rayner becoming Chancellor? Oh, my God.
Oh.
Yes. I think probably 0. It's... yeah. Who would it be? I think it would be. I think a safe seat will be set up for Andy Burnham very shortly. He's be absolutely.
Yes, that's the only way that it could be done. But I mean,
but will it matter? Will it matter? They're destroying the country anyway, and Andy Burnham's worse than Starmer. They're all worse than Starmer because they wouldn't try and hide it. At least Starmer's trying to put some form of veneer on the stuff he's coming out with. They wouldn't. It would be straight in. It would be Rayner's bother boots all over the place. You know, wealth in this country would plummet. Investment in the country would plummet. It's already going down the drain anyway. And thank you, Wisdom Nuggets and Tidbits. Whoever made the laws that countries with white heritage and forefathers all of the sudden must be replaced and ruled by non-white. When did this start? In the US, it started in the 60s. Well, I don't know when it started, but the main problem is that we've just been weak and wet.
it's strange. I mean, what we're talking about here is with white heritage. I mean, white heritage now, the thing is, you feel very guilty about using those terminology, which is awful, isn't it, really? I mean, if you were black, you can say, oh, yeah, I'm from black heritage, I'm proud of it. You know, it's like, yeah, I'm proud of it. Except if you say, well, you know, it's like, yeah, I'm white. And my family are all white, and all my ancestors were white. You're like, ugh. You can't say that at certain dinner parties, especially in Islington. You know, it's like, oh, I'm sorry. Don't you have any diversity in your genetic lineage? Don't you? No. Okay, well, you're not coming back to the F&T party, so get your stuff and F off. Yeah, that's what it'll be like. You know, sorry. Antarctica holds the knowledge. Oh, yeah, that's an interesting one.
There's a lot of talk about that. You know, there's a lot of talk about Antarctica. Yes.
Some very suspicious things going on down there. Up there or around there.
Most
Depends
people
on your view of the Earth.
Yeah, but most people just hang on to the reason why do they militarily protect Antarctica, and why is no one? You have to have a license to go down there. Basically, someone has to let you go in. You can't just go down there. Yeah. So they're hiding things from us. They must be.
And I'm very suspicious of those who go to Antarctica as well. Incidentally, that's another thing. Unless, of course, it's certain specific. You're part of a research team specifically, but there are others who I'm suspicious of linked with Antarctica.
But what are you researching? Ice or something else?
Ice cores or who knows? Yeah.
Thank you again, John Dingle. Lenny Henry reparations will bankrupt and punish us. Well, that's the point, isn't it? This is always the point of the of these types of people. They just want to destroy us. There's your real punishment. You are now destroyed and taken over by someone else. It's just we have to protect ourselves and we have to look after ourselves. Gone are the days when you could trust anyone else to look after you. Got to do it ourselves, I'm afraid. There you go. Anyway,
Right, well,
Richard, we've
Jeff.
been going for 2 hours.
I know.
Yes.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, what we decided is that we're going to reclaim our spot at 5:45, 5:45. So we'll see you regularly, hopefully, at 5:45. We thought, no, do you know what? That's when we were doing our... it was our regular thing, and we sort of deviated away from it. We want to go back to 5:45. So remember, 5:45, and press the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel. Click the all option. Make sure that you have notifications on your phone or whatever you're using to watch us to let you know that from YouTube in terms of your actual settings in your iOS device or whatever. And then, and to be honest, the best thing you can just do is come back here at 5:45. Jeff will be potentially putting out a video in the daytime at some point, a small little short form, but we're going to be doing potentially longer videos from now on. I think these live streams, it's interesting. We get to cover more stuff and we get to have a good chat and we get to see these wonderful people who speak to us here. And There we go.
Yeah.
So over to you, Mr.
Yeah,
Taylor.
I just want to answer this
Oh,
one.
go on.
Andrea Anderson. Yeah, pair of old clowns. St. George was born in Turkey and grew up and lived in Palestine, where he is still martyred there today. So what? Do you know, if you go and look it up, you'll find that St. George is the patron saint of a lot of places, not just of England. And doesn't it show how wonderfully non-bigoted, how non-xenophobic the English are in having such a patron saint?
Absolutely, exactly. And he was, he was born in Turkey. Yes, I'm half Iranian, and I grew up in Wales, and I don't care. I don't give a monkeys about all this nonsense. We're all different. It's like, good grief. It's like, oh well,
Anyway, yes. We digress. So we just want to go from that.
We just want to go. I want to eat. I haven't eaten a mouthful of food today. So,
Yes.
Jeff.
Right. So there you go. And on that note, because he's hungry and I'm thirsty, I will say it's goodbye from me.
And it's goodbye from Mr. Jeff Taylor. Goodbye.